What is up, guys? Dashing here for episode 426 of Community Universe Mode in edition number 112 of Friday afternoon Genesis. We're live pretty early here today, but it's an action-packed card as always, as we of course are on the road for the next Genesis exclusive pay-per-view, the third annual SummerSlam, which goes down next weekend, the 25th of February, and some colossal matches announced for that card. Already, of course, we know that Elijah Stewart will be challenging Guri Sukhanov for the Alpha World Championship, but what kind of condition will the Good Vibes Kid be in come that matchup? We know that the Click, Xander Slate, and Randy Borton will defend their World Tag Team titles against Mark Intel and Pierre Thompson. A little bit of a preview of that later on tonight when Slate goes one-on-one with Mark Intel. We know that Bob Luger, guys, will be going one-on-one with Matsuda Tanaka. Of course, Tanaka in action tonight in our main event, taking on the Alpha World Champion, Guri Sukhanov, and a whole lot more. But the show gets underway here. You know, what up, Maury Dynamic, Suntan? Holla, holla. The show gonna get rolling with some tag team action. I believe our only tag team matchup of the card. A lot of great matches tonight, actually. We're also going to see Reese Matthews later on take on Randy. I'm really looking forward to that matchup. We've got Luke Swanson looking to remain unbeaten in the co-main event. He'll take on Sean Kent. A little bit of a run-in between those two last week, which we'll touch more on as that match comes our way. And we've also got Dallas Steele in action tonight as he'll be battling his biggest challenge, Zach Cage. That should be an interesting collision. Holla, holla. Maury, you're going to go one-on-one with The Undertaker. But the two duos going at it. Here to start off Genesis number 112. Being the currently unbeaten Ortiz and Scott, Reese Ortiz and Adam Scott, as they will be taking on the recently formed pairing of Twisted and Ray Furioso, and Ortiz and Scott not alone as they make their way out here set for some tag team action. As you can see, well, not right now, but I can see, there he is, Bray Angel, ladies and gentlemen, is making his way down to ringside, and some of you might be wondering why exactly the hell that is. Well, I was wondering the same thing as I was coming out here to, sit at the commentary show to get things started. I bumped into Angel and Zaire in the gorilla position, and I was like, what the hell are you guys doing here? Not set for action tonight. And Angel told me that he and Zaire have a little bit of a bet going for this matchup, that Angel is going to be in the corner of Ortiz and Scott, while Dule is in the corner of Twisted and Furioso, and whichever one of their teams wins, they will be the one to pick the stipulation for their SummerSlam match. So if Ortiz and Scott win this matchup, then Bret Angel will pick the stipulation of he and Zaire's tag match at SummerSlam. If Twisted and Furioso win, then Zaire will be the one to choose what kind of matchup they compete in. So kind of using these two teams as like bargaining chips almost. There you see Zaire coming down behind Twisted. Of course, it was announced yesterday on Reality Wrestling after Brule knocked off the Cleaners to remain unbeaten. That Castle Fave announcing a huge matchup for SummerSlam. Brule will take on a team of the CMV Universe's choosing, the options being the Mexican Militia, the Nice Guys, and the Megastars, three pairs of former tag team champions. Mexican Militia, two-time tag team champions. The Nice Guys, the inaugural tag team champions in CMB. And the Megastars, of course, two Hall of Famers. And Paul Anderson, and certainly a man that Angel knows very well, and Dave Turner. Dule out here tweeting, says, homeboy almost set me on fire. And last but not least, here comes Ray Furioso. Twisted and Furioso working very well together yesterday on Reality Wrestling, knocking off the pros in quick fashion. Ortiz and Scott, guys, been extraordinarily impressive since Adam, of course, joined CMV and started teaming with Reese Ortiz beforehand. Ortiz was taking a lot of losses, so he called in his good buddy and actually his boyfriend to join him, and since then they have been tearing through the division. And guys, it's actually been announced that on the pre-show for SummerSlam next Sunday, Ortiz and Scott, hoping to still be unbeaten if they can get past Twisted and Furioso here, will be in action. And much like Brulee's poll, it'll be up to you, the fans, to decide which team they should take on. The options being the Enterprise, Chaos and Order, or Vintage. 3 teams that Ortiz and Scott have yet to face. Again, that's hoping that they remain unbeaten heading into that matchup as they look to continue their tear through the division. Reese Ortiz kicking it off with Twisted here. And a tweet, guys, from Brett Angel now says, these two don't even come out together. You bet on the wrong guys. So Angel I'd say Angel did get the better pick in the unbeaten Ortiz and Scott. As they're throwing his hat in with the still untested Twisted and Furioso. But Twisted and Furioso, like I said, their first match together yesterday, they were working like, man, peanut butter and jelly. Like bread on butter. 2 men of, a luchador background. They took out the pros with the quickness. Twisted looking for a suplex, gets a knee onto the top of the head, though. Yeah, so the options to see who you would like to take on, Ortiz and Scott, being the Enterprise, Chaos and Order, and Vintage. Any one of those 3 teams would certainly be a challenge for Reese and Adam. Nice reversal right there, though, by Ortiz. Dulé cringing a bit at the sight of his guy, his pick, getting floored with that reverse DDT. And a tweet from Dulé saying, yo, Brett, you see this trash the Topher Kid is talking? And Brett responded saying, who? Snapmare. Look at the teamwork by Ortiz and Scott with a catapult. Meteora. Not like the social media burns here. It's Brulee. Dulé now saying, my man's on Twitch, and Angel Vintage says, cares. Seems to be Angel's new shtick. Brulee, much like Ortiz and Scott, they really started, Ortiz and Scott and Brulee kind of debuted right around the same time. They kind of been on a very similar trajectory. Both teams currently 3-0. We're going to see if that keeps up for Scott right now, as Rey Furioso is tagged in, former Rising Star champion from a luchador and Japanese background, and a corkscrew moonsault right away. Certainly, no matter which team is picked for Brulee, though, it's going to be a huge challenge and a big test. The Mexican Militia 2-time tag team champions. We haven't seen them in CMV since the first annual Cause and Effect, nearly 2 years, or just over 2 years even, I think. And the Nice Guys, the inaugural tag team champions in CMV, Booker Phillips and Flynn Reese. Or the Megastars, 2 CMV Hall of Famers. Will Paul Anderson make his return to team with Dave Turner? I think that's the matchup that I'm going to vote for. I would love to see Angel and Turner in the ring together after all the beef they had last season, and we never got a match out of it. A lot of fans were clamoring for it. They really wanted to see that one-on-one encounter. Dulé saying here on Twitter that Ortiz is a handsome man, I must say. Angel says, too late to switch teams. Now, pinfall here by Rey Furioso. Certainly Adam Scott is getting the work right now. Rey Furioso all over him. Good drop kick to the back of the head, and now Furioso lining up his shot. Adam Scott in big trouble. Brett Angel certainly knows this move very well. It's the tilt-a-whirl Fujiwara armbar. Look at Reese Ortiz knowing the damage that maneuver can inflict, saving his partner immediately. That's the move that nearly ended Brett Angel's career, cost him 4 months of it. I'm sure that's why Brett Angel didn't pick Rey Furioso's team, as referee Perry White going to take his bump for the night. Look at Adam Scott, not afraid to get dirty, using his ring as a weapon. Just dragging Rey's face across the top rope, and the ref didn't see it, so no disqualification. Oh, power bomb by Adam Scott. Nice reversal there. Of the former Rising Star champion. Targeting that leg. Dula's hair. I think he really is wishing that he had joined the other team. European uppercut, though, can't count out Rey Furioso. We know Furioso is on the path to try to become a two-time Rising Star champion. That win yesterday on Reality Wrestling over the pros, certainly a good beginning point. Keep it up here alongside Twisted. Nice reversal right there. Drop it out of a scoop slam attempt into a neck breaker. Dule with a tweet towards Angel saying, that armbar look familiar? Oh, no, 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 no. Gonna snap the arm right over the knees. Oh, no. Softening that arm up for the Tilt-A-Whirl Fujiwara armbar. Last time, I don't even think Rey Furioso really got it fully locked in before Ortiz broke it up. And look at that! Look at that! Scott with a submission hold of his own! Knee bar locked in! Can he get to the ropes? Can Furioso get to the ropes? Oh, did he escape? Either way, the damage looks like it's done. Furioso limping a bit. Now into the corner, goes for a shoulder thrust with Furioso with a knee to the face. Now Rey gonna Irish whip Scott back over to the corner. Maybe looking for a tag. You Twisted. No, charges him. Gets a face full of turnbuckle right back to the corner of Ortiz. Oh, going for a leg lariat. Look at to squash him like a bug instead. Running sunset flip power bomb, but Scott, out of pure instinct, makes a hot tag. Both men missing with drop kick attempts. There we go. Goes for a clothesline. Ducks it. Notice Furioso. Ducks the clothesline. And Furioso into a German suplex. Bridge to boot, but a rope break. What a matchup this has been. Did that fucking thing where it just randomly pauses. Ooh, that shit irritates me. And a tweet from Angel now says, but did you see that knee bar? Beautiful. You haven't missed it yet, Dash. Still going on. Been pretty back and forth. And dare I say, a great matchup. But a spear by Ortiz might bring it to an end for Ortiz and Scott to go to 4-0. 1, 2. No. Nearly, but just not enough. Scott back up onto the apron as Ortiz gonna Irish whip into the corner. Maybe looking for that Tower of Doom that they frequent. I believe it is so. Ortiz catapulted up. Rey Furioso going for a ride and not a fun one. Can Scott make the pin in time? Where the hell is Twisted? Into the pin with a do it. Ortiz playing defense, takes out Twisted, and it's enough. Ortiz and Scott remain unbeaten. 4-0 now, and Angel is now going to be able to choose he and Zayr's stipulation for SummerSlam. And as we catch the highlights, a tweet here, guys, from Reese Matthews says, now that I've left the clique, it's time to show the CM Universe what a former undisputed champion looks like. Hashtag pineapple on pizza is misunderstood. What a showing by Ortiz and Scott. Great tag match. 4-0. Now it's up to you, the fans. Who should be their challenge come the SummerSlam pre-show? The Enterprise, Chaos and Order, or Vintage? And what stipulation is Brett Angel going to choose now for he and Zayr's matchup at SummerSlam? And as Ortiz and Scott celebrate, we have a tweet here from Dule that says, Reese, you buy my bar for a drink. And Reese responds saying, do you have almond milk? And Angel says, do I know how to pick them or what? I guess he does indeed. All right, my fine feathered friends, still a lot of great action to get to here on Genesis number 112, including Xander Slate going one-on-one with Mark and Tell. I think it'll be the first time that they've gone at it in a singles match since season 2. I'm pretty sure the last time that they fought was in the first annual Cyborg Invitational. Of course, Mark and Tell and Peter Thompson did defeat the Click a couple weeks ago in a non-title match to earn themselves that title match at CyberSlam. Can Mark and Tell keep the momentum running, or will Slate get a point for he and Borton? And of course, Borton going to be in action later on in our tertiary main event as he takes on his former Click brother and Reese Matthews. We heard from Reese there via a tweet a couple of minutes ago. Says he's going to show us what a real undisputed champion looks like. It is, Dash. It is indeed. As here comes the genetic perfection. Dallas Steele currently sitting with a record of 6-1 in CMV. He took his first loss some weeks ago to Eric Skarsgård, but he bounced back 2 weeks ago with a win over Joe Gates, now kicking up the competition a notch as he goes up against a CMV veteran, a former Anarchy Tag Team and International Champion, and a submission expert in Zach Cage. This is without a doubt Steele's biggest challenge. But on Twitter, he seemed very confident. He said, "I'm going to tear Zach Cage apart, and then Skarsgård, I'm coming for you for revenge." Of course, we know that Eric Skarsgård is currently set for action at CyberSlam against RGP. RGP, who next week challenges Black Gale for the Rising Star title. Of course, also to come tonight, guys, Chris Andrews and Alistair Knox going to team up once again to take on their 3 possible opponents for CyberSlam. Adam Valentine, John Reed, and Lance Martini. And in our main event, as voted by you, the fans, Matsuda Tanaka, with his biggest test, looks to remain undefeated as he goes up against the Russian Ogre, Alpha World Champion, Guri Sukhanov. Elijah Stewart, once again, not in action tonight at a local hospital, caring for his brother DJ after Click carried out a vicious assault on Moore. I mean, this is without a doubt the most, what's the word I'm looking for? The most malicious attack by Click to date. They fooled DJ Moore into thinking that he was going to meet his brother Elijah at a local pub for a drink to catch up. Instead, Click were waiting for him, and they beat the hell out of DJ Moore, broke his arm with a steel chair, as has become their signature, telling DJ Moore that this is Elijah's fault, this is happening to you. So Elijah once more not here, beside his brother in the hospital. Again, Click continuing to just hammer away at Elijah. And in what kind of condition is the Good Vibes Kid going to be in the challenge for the Alpha World title at CyberSlam? As Zach Cage it's been an interesting season for Cage so far, picking up a couple of wins and a couple of losses. Of course, the end of last season as Dallas Steele just going to charge him, trip up and hammering away with some right hands. Looks like Cage was able to protect himself from most of them, but Cage in the last genesis of last season became international champion, defeating Guri Sukhanov, one of only 6 men to do so one-on-one, but he had to relinquish the title because of a concussion returned just a couple of months ago. Cage has been finding it hard to really get back on track. Tonight would really be a starting point for him. If he can get one up over the genetic perfection, Dallas Steele taunting at Cage here. And Dule lets out a tweet saying, "At least it wasn't at my bar this time." Yeah, that's thankful. Look at that. Dallas Steel just mauling Zach Cage here from the mounted position, hammering away with these left hands. Now a stomp to the bicep. It has been all Dallas Steel. Can never count out Zach Cage, the CMV veteran. Been in this company for nearly 4 years. Last season was really his best as he became Anarchy champion and then held the tag team titles alongside Nick Blake for 5 months. And of course, again, winning the international championship. Ooh, vintage Cage right there with a Samoan driver. Used to finish matches off with that. Instead, it's going to wear Steel down a bit as now he has the driver's seat. Snapmare up next after this guy, Xander Slate. 1-on-1 with Marcantel. Be an interesting matchup. Looking forward to that. Who's going to get the momentum heading into CyberSlam next Sunday, where the World Tag Team titles will be on the line. Who Zach Cage did? I don't know about that. He and Blake were separated in the draft. Blake was drafted over to Fusion. We haven't seen Blake, though, in a good couple of months. Let's add a mighty roar. Does Steel, piercing the ears of those in attendance, trying to mark his territory. Alpha male Zach Cage. That's not going to work, though. Missed that attempt at whatever the hell Cage was going for. Now into the corner. Steel, I believe, might have been looking for his modified suplex that we've seen him utilize in the past to wear down opponents. Cage able to see it coming. Nice arm drag. Yo, went up in range just in time, my friend, as Dallas is tripped up with a barrel roll. And now Cage going to make him pay. These vicious strikes, knees, back, elbows, kicks, bam, right across the jaw. Might be unhinged. Will Steel taste defeat once again here at the hands of Cage? No. Dallas's biggest test to date, and he might be overlooking Cage on his path of revenge. We know he wants Skarsgård, but he has got a truly big challenge in front of him. There we go. Nice modified suplex into a lateral press himself. Only a 1 count. The genetic perfection now bringing Cage to a vertical base into the corner. Perhaps going to try for that modified suplex once again. I do believe he will. Now there it is, and it usually plays as a prelude to the genetic downfall. Wasting no time. Steel lines up his shot, and Cage is in big trouble. Dallas closing in on the biggest win of his career to the hard camera. He wants to make sure everybody sees it. The genetic downfall. Double knees crunching the spine. Hooks the leg, and will that do it? 1, 2. No, it will not. Cage remains resilient and fights through the pain. 2.999. Steel seems a bit baffled about that. As if he didn't expect Cage to be able to kick out there. Dragon Scooter. And Zach catching another gust of wind. It seems like he has the fan support behind him here as he brings the genetic perfection to his feet. Nice clothesline now. Another clothesline. A third clothesline, and Dallas Steel now looking to catch his breath in the corner. Clothesline, nicely done, just chucking Dallas down in the center of the ring. Brought to his feet. Oh, Cage, Cage, vintage Cage, vintage Cage. Armbar cinched in. Will Steel be forced to tap? No. Steel escapes, slides his hand through, and pushes Cage off. But Cage! Bicycle knee out of nowhere. Steel walked right into it. Wasting a couple of seconds as he dropped down to his knee. 1, 2. Only a 2 count. And now it is Cage who is left baffled as to how that was not enough to take down the genetic perfection. Watch out, referee Perry White. Cage to the second turnbuckle. Nice elbow drop to keep the fire on. Not allowing Steel to catch his breath down to the apron. Cage just flying every which way, throwing caution in the wind for a springboard senton. Grabs him by the ears. Back body drop. Landing right on his ass. Lateral press. 1, 2, but only a 2 count. Back and forth bout this has been. I think Dallas Steel has really been given a bigger challenge than he thought he would. Sit out powerbomb. How about the strength on display there? There's a reason he calls himself the Genetic Perfection. There's been a lot of talk in the CM universe that this guy ain't all natural, but I don't know about that. This guy is something else. Reverse chin lock being applied. He knows that Cage, the longer this matchup goes, the more it's going to benefit his opponent, being the smaller and more agile man. Quicker, too. So Steel wants to use his power to keep Cage right where he wants him. But look at the veteran instinct of Cage to roll to the outside where Steel cannot pin or submit him. Instead, Steel going to work on his own cardio a little bit. Walking in place in the corner now. Cage back into the ring. Wrong time to taunt there, Steel. Wrong time to taunt. And that might backfire on him. Oh, knee to the back of the head. Gonna go for the pin. 1, 2. Nearly cost himself the match there, did Steel. Now look at Cage bringing Dallas up to his feet. Nice reverse DDT, simple but effective. As Cage circles the Genetic Perfection, almost like a shark in the water smelling blood. Beckoning for Steel to rise up to his feet. And what is Cage going to try for there? Missile drop kick. Expertly executed. And Cage is feeling it. The fans behind him. Really wants this win. Does the CMV veteran, but Dallas Steel might want it more. Who's got enough left in the tank? Cage once again going to unleash this vicious combo of strikes, knees. Oh, right across the face. But look at Steel. Like it ain't no thing but a chicken wank. Just pushes Cage away and roars, making sure that everybody knows he is still 100% here. Uh-oh, we've seen this before from Dallas Steel. Back suplex. Now gonna bring Cage up for the German. And if those alone weren't enough, now a vertical. The power of this kid. Cage in La La Land, and Steel just does not beat around the bush. Eyes on the prize, but Cage reverses. The big clutch by Cage. The big clutch. Didn't want to get hit with another genetic downfall. Front headlock holding Steel in place. Kick to the gut, though. The big man with a front headlock. European uppercut gonna stagger. Cage runs right into a DDT, though. What a matchup. Has me on the edge of my seat, but Cage looking to dish out. Another bicycle knee. Countered by Steel. Dallas takes it right back. What a match. Excellent competition as Cage again with a Samoan driver. Targeting that arm. Zach Cage loves his arm bars. We saw him apply one earlier in the matchup. If he goes for it again, Steel might have to tap. Hook of the leg, but only a 2 count still. And Cage with his hands on his hips, wondering what in the hell do I have to do here? Grabbing Dallas by his beard, and face to face they stand. Cage for a 3rd time. Gonna unleash these versatile strikes. So vicious. And again, Steel's like, what was that, a mosquito? Did a fly just land on me? This guy is something else, man. Knee to the top of the head. And Cage shoots in, but again, gets reversed. We know that Dallas Steel can be beaten. Skarsgård proved that, but man, what does it take to do so? Now just throwing Cage around like a sack of dirty laundry. Finally had enough playing with his food. The Genetic Perfection for a 2nd dose of the Genetic Downfall. Double knees digging into the spine, and Steel hooks the leg after hesitating. 1, 2, 3, and Steel is victorious. What a match. Zach Cage certainly took the rookie to the limits and all the way back again. But it is the Genetic Perfection who now goes to 7-1 in his CMV career. What a showing. the resiliency of Dallas Steel. Wait a minute! Watch out, referee Perry White! Blake Virtue! That's Blake Virtue, who defeated Eric Skarsgård last week, and I guess wants to get himself another piece of a different monster. Picking up where Cage left off with those devastating strikes, and now Virtue with the Widowmaker, laying out Dallas Steel after a huge win for the Genetic Perfection and Virtue with a message sent. Oh, wow, I muted that whole time, rip. I hate doing that. GG. But what an attack there by Blake Virtue. Definitely with a strong message sent off his huge win over Skarsgård last week. I guess deciding that he now wants a piece of the Genetic Perfection, laying out Steel in the middle of the ring. But guys, the show must go on as our third matchup of the evening comes your way. Two veterans set to collide. Still a lot of action to get to. Reese Matthews battling Randy Orton. Luke Swanson looking to remain undefeated when he takes on Sean Kent. And in our main event, Matsuda Tanaka takes on Guri Sukanov. But first, we have one half of the CMV World Tag Team Champion, Xander Slate. Of course, usually he would have his tag team partner, Borton, by his side, but the Milkman, as I just said, going to be in action later on against Reese Matthews. So Slate out here, I should say, on his own. Xander Slate and Randy Orton have held those titles for closing in on 3.5 months now. Certainly facing a big challenge come SummerSlam next Sunday, February the 25th, though, when they put him on the line against Mark Intel and Pierre Thompson. And Mark and the Big Dog defeated Click in a non-title match 2 weeks ago, proving that they can get the job done. It'll be Pierre's second shot at Click of the tag team titles. Of course, he and Elijah Stewart failed to win the gold last month in that ladder match. He and Elijah Stewart. You know what? Pierre was there for that emotional support, you know? There he comes emerging from the boiler room. where he likes to hunker down when he's not decapitating folks. This is Big Marky Moo, former Anarchy champion. It looks like actually Pierre Thompson gonna be joining him at ringside. The former international champ out here to make sure that no click shenanigans go down. Of course, Bob Luger is not set to compete, so I don't know exactly where the hell he is. He's not out here in the corner of Slate. Maybe he'll be in the corner of Borton later on tonight. But Marcantel just in a foul mood, man. Click had been just chipping away at him for the past couple of months. And Borton beating him twice, and then Bob Luger defeating him. Marcantel finally got fed up, reached his boiling point, and just smashed Slate's face in when they fought 2 weeks ago. But Slate saying on Twitter yesterday that this is another opportunity for him to beat Marcantel's ugly mug in. Certainly looking for that momentum for he and the Milkman. Irish whip down, watch out, Perry White. Gonna tuck the clothesline into a reverse mat slam. Xander Slate, a Season 1 veteran. First ever CMV Money in the Bank winner, two-time world champion, former United States champion. And he alongside Bob Luger and Randy Borton. Been slowly but surely not only taking over Genesis, but all of CMV. Branching out now, they have Amber Briggs on Ferocity, Chris Adams on Unmatched, and Travis King on Fusion. Building an army. Just saw Xander Slate expose that top turnbuckle, the OG Dirty Heel. Doesn't call himself that for no reason, but Marcantel not afraid to bend the rules in his favor either. Boot to the jaw right there. Might have unhinged it. Of course, it'll be in the hands of the CMV Universe. And what type of matchup? The Click defend their titles against Marcantel and Pierre Thompson in. The options not yet revealed, but I'm sure they're not going to be fun ones. Xander Slate and Randy Borton have managed to retain their titles these past couple months in various different gimmick matches. You know, against Pierre Thompson and Elijah Stewart in a ladder match. They retained against Vintage in a tables match, elimination tables match. So they certainly are ready for whatever's going to be thrown at them. Look at that. Xander Slate just hitting a brick wall. That brick wall's name is Marcantel, who now goes to work on the leg of the show. I'm going to tear the goddamn thing right off, maybe. Jeez Louise. Now going to put his boot to the thigh as he smacks right overhead. I don't know what Marcantel's game plan is here. Going for the legs. We're going to try to tap out. Slate, but a nice jumping complete shot. While one half of the World Tag Team Champion, you see Marcantel roll out onto the apron. Going to use the ropes, get himself back up to his feet, but Slate not going to give him the time of day. No chance to rest. With a punch square to the face, Marcantel drops the outside of a sack of stones, and even though Pierre Thompson is ringside, he can't get involved lest he cause a disqualification. And look at Slate now pouncing on Marcantel, getting off some nasty right hands here. A lot of those got through. And now off the steel post, and we all know the history between Slate and Pierre. It might be very hard for Pierre to try to keep his distance and not just go over there and smack Slate up. Slate got a singles win over Pierre last month. But a count of 6 right now. Marcantel just slamming Slate spine first onto the security wall. And at the count of 8, make sure that the match does not go to a count out. Marcantel would like nothing more than to pin Slate again as he goes to the work on the leg once more here. Slate is in agony. You can tell that the damage has been done to that left leg of Xander's. Now down on one knee. Gonna show off his power, but Slate there, wily, able to escape with a couple of punches directly to the face. You know, Marcantel has to be so careful to not get trapped. And that Slate by Slate. But look at Xander right here. Double body splash in the corner. Slate, no small man himself, standing 6'4", 250 pounds. But he just ran into Marcantel. Big Mark, like the hell was that? A Slate gust of wind. What a belly to belly. Now the pinfall attempt, but just a 1 count. Goes for a kick to the gut. Slate able to move out of the way, and a nice enziguri Gonna catch Mark right on the back of his head and slate like it ain't no thing but a chicken wing. Vintage Xander here, but it might come back to bite him. Marcantel charges right into a knee to the gut. Going for a hook to the jaw, forearm smash though. Now Slate from behind. What is this? STO! By the show, when you saw him, he's looking right in the eyes of Pierre Thompson as he hit that maneuver. You could tell that in Xander's mind, he was hitting that on Thompson. Imagining it, daydreaming about it. Taking his eye off the ball though, and now the big red machine is going to make him pay for it. Clothesline going to squash him like a bug in the corner, not just once but twice. Now Slate just wobbling on spaghetti legs right into the hands of Marcantel for a sit-out sidewalk slam. Grabbing Slate by the sides of his head. Jawbreaker creates a little bit of distance for Slate to try to capitalize. He nearly does, but a swift kick to the gut going to stop Slate from closing in. But Slate able to deflect the punch. Now Xander has Marcantel down. Slate by Slate locked in. Slate by Slate locked in. Deep. Will Marcantel tap? Will Big Mark be forced to submit? Or can he escape? You see Pierre. He does not like what he's seeing before him. Oh, but Slate, I think he might have tripped there and accidentally released the hold. It looked like he might have slipped. I mean, Marcantel looks to be out cold. Slate gonna try to take advantage, hooking that tree trunk of a leg, but too much time wasted, and only the 2 count. Marcantel was able to withstand the pain, and it kind of looked like Xander. It wasn't seeming like Marcantel was gonna be able to escape. Luckily, though, Xander removes the hold, but now a stomp to the back of the head. Slate's still in control. Going for a jumping cutter. Countered by Marcantel now. Up against the ropes, and Marcantel just like disposing of Xander. Like, go, no. No. No, no. No, no, no. Marcantel, look at the shadow of the spine of Slate as he power bombs him on the apron, and Slate right back up. Xander just conditioned for the pain over his career here in CMV. He is taking some pretty horrible bumps. There's no doubt that that back has got to be hurting. If it's not right now, then it will be in the morning. Marcantel busted open there, though, off a sharp knee by Slate. And at the count of 6, you know someone like Xander would not mind at all taking a count-out victory. But he wants to get some revenge for Marcantel pinning him 2 weeks ago. And Slate now goes for a kick to the gut. Marcantel catches the leg, though, and floors him with a clothesline from the deepest depths of hell. Now a desperation pinfall attempt here by Marcantel. Late into this matchup, hoping it will be enough, but only a 1 count. Jumping complete shot. Once again utilized here by the OG Dirty Heel to take Mark off his feet. Front headlock by one half of the World Tag Team Champions. European uppercut now. It's going to stagger Marcantel a little bit. Allows Slate to get off an Irish rib. Into the corner goes Marcantel, now slowly approaching him. Slate, what is he looking for here? Slate with sliced bread. Catches the legs. 1, 2. No. Nearly gets the 3, but not quite. Xander a bit miffed about that. What a hard-hitting and brutal matchup this has been. Back and forth. And Marcantel another desperate pin attempt. But a rope break by Xander. Knows his surroundings all too well. Oh, now Marcantel looking to continue his assault on the back of Xander with a second power bomb that quakes the entire ring. Into the pin here. 1, 2. Perry White calls it as just a 2 count. Marcantel can't seem to believe it. Into the corner to that exposed turnbuckle. I thought he was about to headbutt himself right on the exposed turnbuckle. I was going to be like, damn. Punch to the back. Slammer! That's what knocked off Slade 2 weeks ago. 1, 2, 3, and it does it again here tonight. Mercantile puts down the OG Dirty Heel again. And oh mama, the momentum riding high for Mark and Pierre. Look at that powerbomb onto the apron, slit like a spaghetti noodle. What another huge victory for the Big Red Machine on the road to SummerSlam. And here Thompson are going to look to become the World Tag Team Champions. What a match, though. With Pierre watching on ringside, you know, he loved that right there. Bam, to the temple. Just a huge bull hammer. Slade looking to still be out of it. Bloodied, bruised, and all. Big Mark in the zone, ladies and gentlemen. And a tweet here, guys, from Valentine says, "Hey, Lance, if you could use the same underhanded tactics you used last week to beat me on Alistair and Andrews, that would be real nice." Of course, referring to the fact that last week in that triple threat elimination match, Martini rolled up Valentine while he was taunting to eliminate him, and then also went on to eliminate John Reed to win that matchup. Certainly the party boy on a roll of momentum, but here, guys, certainly an interesting on this developing rivalry situation as Chris Andrews and Alistair Knox going to be forced to team up once again. Last time they did, leaded Lance Martini and Adam Valentine, but this time Valentine and Martini have the help of John Reed, a handicap bout coming our way. As announced at the top of the month, we know that Chris Andrews, as double champion, Anarchy and title champ, he will be defending both titles at SummerSlam in back-to-back triple threat matches. In the first triple threat, his Anarchy title will be on the line, and the second triple threat, his international title. We know that Alistair Knox will be joining him in both triple threats, but it is up to you, the fans, who will be the third man in both of those bouts. Will it be Adam Valentine? Will it be John Reed? Or will it be Lance Martini? The power is in the hands of the fans. Though, looking at what has happened these past couple of months, Lance Martini, at least in my eyes, I think he has my vote, just sticking out, beating Valentine on the pre-show validation, then winning that triple threat elimination match last week. I've heard a lot of support rumbling in the CM universe for the party boy. A lot of support for John Reed, surprisingly, as well. Not a whole lot for Adam Valentine, though, and that's not surprising considering Valentine's attitude towards the fans. But perhaps we'll see a surprise comeback for the GOAT. Yo, what up, Gaming Dewey? Welcome, my friend, to CMV. This is Genesis number 112 for episode 426 overall as the double champion, holder of the CMV Anarchy Championship, and his third reign with that title, and of course the International Championship in his second reign. Andrew's been International Champion for 3.5 months, won the vacated title back at Death Wish in that 8-man ladder match, and of course defeated Alistair Knox back at Validation to win the Anarchy Championship as the only 5th man to ever hold 2 titles at once in CMV. He'll walk into SummerSlam next Sunday, February the 25th, with both championships. Will he walk out the same? He can either walk out with both of them still, with just one, or perhaps with neither. Triple threats are very tricky because Andrews won't even have to be pinned or submitted to lose his title. We can see Knox pin or submit the other guy, or whoever else chosen pin Knox. Still a lot to get to tonight, guys, as well as Reese Matthews, freshly separated from the Clique, takes on his former brother. And Randy Borton, Luke Swanson, and Sean Kent going to go at it. And in our main event, Matsuda Tanaka looks to remain unbeaten as he has to climb a mountain, literally and figuratively. And the former Alpha World Champion, Gary sucking up. But here comes the former Anarchy Champion, who broke the Bloody Brits record for most defenses when he held the title, and nearly tied Brits record for longest reigning Anarchy Champion. Was closing in on 4 months. If Knox could have retained and won the match at Validation, he would have broken it. Blessed for the follow gaming. I appreciate that, my friend. I hope that you enjoy it watching the show. Exclamation point CMV in the chat will let you know more about us if you are interested at all. But Knox, of course, this season only being defeated twice. First by Lance Martini, and the other time by Andrews. This man is, without a shadow of a doubt, one of the deadliest competitors in all of CMV today, with that brutal, deep guillotine choke of his. Hey, what up, Vic? Glad to have you as always. So there we go. Chris Andrews and Alistair Knox once again forced to team up. They certainly don't like each other, but the last time they were on a team, they won. That, of course, had fair odds. This time they're outnumbered. As here comes the self-proclaimed greatest of all time, Adam Valentine, who has had a bit of a rough streak. Really started off the season strong with multiple victories over Pierre Thompson, but lately, Valentine has been struggling when it comes to he and Lance Martini's rivalry, Martini beating him on 2 occasions. Valentine, not surprisingly, does not have a whole lot of fan support. I will honestly be shocked if Valentine gets chosen in the poll to partake in the triple threat matches at CyberSlam. Adam Valentine also coming off of losses at the hands of Chris Andrews and Alistair Knox, respectively, last month. This is a chance for Valentine to prove to the CM Universe that he deserves to be chosen. Because, like I said, if it were up to wins, if it were up to, performance lately, who was going to get in the triple threat matches, Lance Martini would no doubt be the one to get the spots. But it is up to you guys, the fans. Will it be Valentine? Will it be Reed? Or will it be Martini? Will Valentine get the chance to redeem himself? Valentine, as always, basking in his own glory as he gets ready for action here on Genesis number 112. And this man, certainly, surprisingly to me at least, especially after how he's been acting these past couple of months, and really just isn't even John Reed anymore, allowing that dark side of himself to fully take over. And what he's done to Dave Turner, we haven't even seen Turner since Reed defeated him back at Validation. Of course, Turner might make a return at SummerSlam. It's up to you guys in that tag team poll for Brulee's match, but there's been a lot of outpouring of support for John Reed. CMV veteran who, to this day, has yet to hold championship gold in his career. If voted by the fans, he'll have not one but two chances to walk out as champion at SummerSlam. John Reed's certainly been impressive as of late. Put on one hell of a performance, even in defeat against Knox some weeks ago. John Reed slowly, methodically making his way towards the ring. I really wish that I had something else to call this guy, because that's not the John Reed that I knew. The John Reed that I knew was a good guy. A guy that I like talking to, that I like calling his matches. This is a monster with no conscience and no care for anybody's well-being. And we go right from a very dark mood to the fans up on their feet in anticipation for the party boy, Lance Martini. My friends, makes his way out onto the stage, and hold up. Will he do it? Will he do it? Dabs on them haters. Like I said, if it were up to wins, if it were up to performances, Lance Martini would no doubt be involved in those triple threat matches at SummerSlam. And even though he has a large portion of the fans behind him, we'll have to wait to see at SummerSlam if he is the one to be chosen. Stringing together a lot of big wins lately. I'm looking to do the same here tonight, but gonna have to find a way to work together with John Reed and his bitter foe, and Adam Valentine. All right, here we go. This is a handicap matchup. Chris Andrews and Alistair Knox up against the three men, one of which will be joining them come SummerSlam. And right out of the gate, Valentine gonna take out the Brit with a tilt-a-whirl DDT. Valentine, I'm sure, as do Reed and Martini, gotta feel good about their numbers game. Brit able to action roll out of the way. Now a cross body you don't see too often from the double champion, and just raining down the lefts and rights. A bitch slap right there by Chris Andrews. Gonna light up Valentine's face like the 4th of July. Single arm clothesline, but of course Britt not done there. A second up, loves all things threes. Why am I surprised at all? And there's this Valentine just getting absolutely worked by the Bloody Bray, who now goes for a scoop save, but Valentine able to drop down behind, back suplex coming. Nice execution and nice reversal. Vertical base and face-to-face they stand as Valentine looks to deal some big-time damage, grabbing the arms of Britt for a butterfly pile driver. Right down on the top of the noggin. That's a good way to cut your career short. And of course, Valentine not afraid to take the rules into his own hands. He chokes out Andrews. Watches the refs count, though, to the top rope. And Valentine with a modified leg drop. All over the Anarchy and International Champion. And a front headlock, punch to the back of the head. Going to take the Brit for a cheeky bit of a walk into the corner. Face first off the top turnbuckle. Going to make a tag. No. Instead, Lance Martini and John Reed jump off the apron, giving the GOAT some room to work here as he just stomps Brit right in the chest. Making it hard for the champion to breathe. Valentine wastes no time, though. Irish whip goes Andrews, rebounds off the ropes, right into a thigh slap. Gonna catch him square on the draw. You see Alistair Knox over there begging, asking for a tag. He knows that Andrews is in a bad way. And now Valentine with that pile driver of his Man, the GOAT dominating right now. Britt's had enough, finally, with a sign of life. European uppercut, and Andrews going for a powerbomb, maybe. But Valentine escapes with 3 well-placed punches square to the forehead. Watch out, referee Perry White. Andrews wanting to get the hell out of the ring, tries to make a tag to Knox, but Valentine's having none of it. Irish whip back to his corner. Hardy might have gone for the, oh my God, no. No, every stream it is with this shit. The fans chanting, this is awesome. As Valentine with a superplex to the outside of the ring. Commonplace here in CMV. Might be hardcore, might be extreme elsewhere, but nope. Just a common regular move here. An average day in the office for CMV. Well, what the fuck happened right there? Britt just like warped into another reality for a second as he caught a knee square to the face. And where was this Valentine when he fought Britt one-on-one a couple of weeks ago? There we go. Andrews finally getting off one of his patented German suplexes. And at the count of 5, we haven't even seen John Reed or Lance Martini tagged in yet. Not Alistair Knox either. And at the count of 6. 7 now. And we all know, get that command ready. Because Britt will tell you it's a legit way to win by count out. Oh my God, is he going to do it? 8. Get it. Valentine, get up in time. Look at Britt. 9. Tags in Knox. Whoa, it's a legit way to win. 10. Chris Andrews and Alistair Knox. Victorious via countout. Vintage Topher Claw. Valentine was dominating too. Dare I say he was beating the shit out of Chris Andrews. We're gonna get to see Reed or Martini tagged in. Valentine not able to make it back to the ring in time. Look at that. Martini and Reed are like, we're getting the fuck out of here. And Valentine just over in the corner like, you gotta be kidding me. He was on the verge of defeating the Brit. And Andrews said, nah. Knox getting tagged in. Count out win. The Brit and Alistair Knox victorious here via count out. Yeah, Britt was like, you want to superplex me to the outside, bitch? Nah. Britt wasn't having it. He wasn't a big fan of that. He didn't appreciate it, you know? Oh, vintage Britt, though. It's a legit way to win, but poor Valentine. His unlucky streak continues. Once again defeated at the hands of Andrews, and again, man, Valentine was beating the shit out of the champion as well. I couldn't believe his performance. And just as he was going to close in on a huge win, finally, Britt just slips the rug right up from under him. Andrews, a real son of a bitch, you know? Oh, mamacita. But the action must continue, my fine feathered friends, as we are set for our tertiary main event. Perhaps people are going to start feeling bad for Valentine and just start voting for him because of that. And a tweet here, guys, from Bob Luger says, we were family, yet you had to be selfish. You turned your back on our family, and you're going to get hurt. Borton, break his arm. Hashtag click rules. Speaking, of course, about Reese Matthews, who was a part of the Click since the start of this season, but last week suddenly decided that he didn't want to be a part of the Click anymore. stating that he was wasting too much time focusing on them and not himself. The former world champion kind of extended an olive branch, said, hey, Luger, Slate, Borton, I know you have this whole you're either with us or against us thing, but how about cutting me some slack? How about giving me a pass and just letting me go do my own thing? And Slate and Borton would come out and say, sorry, buddy, but that's just not possible. Reese would eat a sweet moo music and a clean slate, and then that same night later on would take a knee at the hands of Matsuda Tanaka. So last week was certainly not a great night for the former undisputed champion, but tonight, as he tweeted out earlier in the evening, looks to show everybody what a real former world champion looks like, eager to get his hands on the Moo Moo Man. One half of the CMV World Tag Team Champions, his partner Slate earlier tonight suffered a loss at the hands of Marcantel. Borton going to try to scoop up some momentum for he and the OG Dirty Heel on the path to defend their titles against Marcantel and Pierre Thompson come SummerSlam next Sunday. And of course, Slate, Borton, and Bob Luger are involved in the breaking of DJ Moore's arm earlier this week. Of course, Slate not ringside here. I'm sure backstage resting up. I thought that Bob Luger might be ringside for Borton, but I guess maybe Luger's not even in the arena tonight. Otherwise, I would have expected him to come out ringside for one of his boys. And a tweet here, guys, from Dule Zahir says, Reese, ignore Bob Luger. When you win, almond milk on me. Bob Luger giving Borton instructions to break Reese Matthews' arm here tonight. The list of arms that Borton has broken: Ray Furioso, Tim LaFave, now DJ Moore. As here we go, two former brothers about to go one-on-one as the referee rings that bell, and I believe a first-time singles collision here between these two superstars. Of course, last season, Reese Matthews was a part of the Fusion roster while Borton spent all season on Genesis. So we never got to see them face off there, and then since the start of this season, they have been allies. They've been brothers, tag team partners in Click. Oh, man. Oh, brain buster right out of the gate. Not going to be a good start for the Milkman. And Borton, certainly one of the most decorated superstars in CMV history. A three-time hardcore champion, Money in the Bank winner, world champion, and two-time international champion. Now one half of the CMV World Tag Team Champions, and he and Slate captured the belts back at Death Wish, became Grand Slam champion, joining the short list of those who have accomplished that feat. And CMV's history needed the gut there by Borton. Now shoots him for a belly-to-belly, but Reese going to deflect it. Couple of punches, three to be exact, square to the face. Creates a little bit of distance, and Reese, ooh, a little bit of side headlock and a punch right on the nose. Back breaker, neck breaker combination. Veteran instinct by Borton to try to roll out of the apron and bring himself to his feet using the ropes, but Reese not going to have an opportunity to rest up and get back out of this one. Crack to the jaw. Gonna put Reese on spaghetti legs momentarily as Borton now throws him right into that steel post. Count of three now. Borton gonna again just throw Reese right into the ring apron, tossing him around the ringside area like a rag doll here. Count of four now. Borton grabs a hold of Reese's hair, just taking him for a walk. Reese has had enough though. Pulling off some elbows in the midsection, and a count of five. Finally breaks the hold that the Milkman has on him. And a count of six, Reese Matthews making sure that Borton's trying to pull an Andrews here and get the count out. W kick to the gut. Going to make it extremely hard for Borton to breathe, as now Matthews is stomped down onto the chest. The former undisputed champion, lateral press. He holds his hand right to Borton's face, but not even a one count. You might not like Borton. In fact, you might hate him. but certainly one of the most resilient superstars in CMV history. Trio of elbows pulled off to the jaw there. Borton drops off. The fireman's carry position, crosses the arms for a straightjacket DDT. That's going to wake Reese up. The Rabbits put him to sleep, really. Vintage Borton with a double boot stomp. Get the kick to the chest to bring it together. No, instead into a reverse shin lock. These two superstars certainly very much alike, well-rounded. None of these guys really stand out in one certain area, but instead they're just at a high level in all aspects. Borton right there. Oh, reel him in. DDT by Matthews, showing Borton how a DDT is really hit. Now going to go for the pin. Matthews again, and you see him just rub his forearm right into Borton's face. Very rough here. This is personal between these two. Reese Matthews hoping for a clean break from Click, but as they say, you're either with us or against us, and Reese knew that. Tying up the legs of Borton, tree of woe position, not a place that you want to be. Double knee backstabber, that's why. Gonna be feeling that later on today, as Reese in the corner like it ain't no thing but a chicken wing. Mocking Borton, saying this is easy. I thought I was coming out here for a challenge. Come on, Borton. Well, Randy's going to give him just that. Snapmare goes for a headbutt instead. That elbow straight to the face is what's going to greet him. Borton dazed momentarily. Reese going to capitalize on that. Neck breaker. Oh, neck breaker. Just a regular neck breaker is so devastating, but a hangman's neck breaker where you drop your opponent's neck right onto your shoulder. It's just such an easy way to snap the neck. Like, Reese just no care for Borton's well-being. Now a vertical suplex by the Milkman. Been very evenly matched here. Back and forth. Nobody been disturbed in control for very long. The driver's seat. Bouncing between these two. Wrong time to tie Borton. Roll up, but a rope break there. Gonna save one half of the CMV World Tag Team Champions. Reese now looking to bring Borton to his feet. Gonna grab a hold of the arm. Gonna break that arm. Clothesline now by Borton. Another clothesline as Reese Matthews for one of his own, ducks it. Does the Milkman, rebounds into a tooth-roll single knee. Go backbreaker. Reese Matthews writhing in agony on the canvas, but Borton not letting up for even a moment. Goes for a move Thunderbomb, I believe. Countered by Reese, near to the gut. Now Flapjack gonna bust Borton wide open. Crimson red is spewing out of that gash on his forehead. Now vintage Reese as he stalks Borton like a lion in the wild. Jumping on the prey, BFT. Knee strike into the discus clothesline. Now hooks leg. Will that be enough to do it? 1, 2. Nearly is, but not quite. Reese can't seem to believe it. Turning to the crowd, hands on his head. Reese surprisingly has the fan support as now lining up his shot. Borton to his feet. Doesn't see it coming. Reese with a single hook face buster. Last second reversal by Borton. Clothesline gonna lay out Matthews. Now out of instinct, getting to his feet and caught with a Borto end. Hooks the leg. Uno, dos, but no tres, Topher, no tres. Now it is Borton left wondering, what in the hell do I gotta do here to knock off this guy? Quite a first time encounter. Borton with the springboard elbow drop, expertly executed. Like poetry in motion. Now another elbow drop to follow through. That time to the chest. Reese brought to his feet. These two just stare at each other in the eyes. Reese Matthews, I don't even know if he's aware of his surroundings, but there we go. Still a little bit of life left on him yet. Choppy looking brainbuster. Still got the job done though in the end. And Reese talking that trash, saying, come on, boo man. Thought you were better than this. That is quite a distance there. Matthews trying to become a high flyer. That was horribly calculated on Reese's part. Still able to stay in control though as he goes for that cut on Borton's forehead. Zoning in on a target now, Reese, with another elbow drop. Now a knee drop to the face, and Borton is just beginning to gush blood. Donning that proverbial crimson mask here. Down on one knee, actionable by Borton, though can never take your eyes off of the Moo Moo Man, but another reel him in DDT. Both these guys are hurt and they're tired. Gas tanks running on fumes at this point. Reese inadvertently really becoming a part of the resistance here and battling Borton on Genesis number 112 in our tertiary main event. Still to come, Luke Swanson looks to remain unbeaten when he takes on Sean Kent. And in our main event, Matsuda Tanaka looks to remain unbeaten as voted by you guys, the fans. He'll be taking on the Russian Ogre World Champion. Here he's sucking off Reese Matthews. Nice snapmare. Now looks to slow things down a little bit. Again, both these guys are very, very similar. The longer this matchup goes, I think the more it's going to, well, not really going to benefit either of them. Borton fighting out of that rest hold position. Able to free himself now. Closes in on the opening. But Reese right there to meet him as he drops him with a reverse DDT. Seated position for Borton as he's kicked right in the back of the head. And Reese currently with a very slow and methodical pace now. Another pinfall attempt, but just a 2 count. You see Reese contemplating, wondering, thinking, what is it going to take for me to keep down Randy Borton? Another flapjack. Oh, now Matthews. I believe he has come up with the correct formula. A second time, BFT. There's the knee strike, and there's the discus clothesline. Look at that, not even going for the pin, not even hesitating, as Reese now with a kick to the gut, but Borton able to shake the cobwebs. And STF! STF being applied by Borton. Locked in, Reese looking to get to the ropes. Can he get to the ropes? Will he force the tap? No, Matthews gonna roll Borton off of him. Now face-to-face kick to the gut though. Jawbreaker 1999. Deflecting counter. Jumping jack by Reese. Wrong time to work out though. Ducks the clothesline. Gets one of his own. What a matchup this has been, as now Borton looking for the go-home driver. Reese drops down behind. Digging the knees into the spine. Dropping him with the reverse DDT. Matthews now drags Borton by the arm away from the ropes. Nice little leaping clothesline, or leaping elbow drop, I should say. Then a kip up. Borton might be in another dimension right now as Reese pulls off another brain buster. And Matthews has his finger on the trigger. Borton wobbles to his feet, unaware that the single underhood face buster is what's waiting for him. 1, 2, just a 2 counts. Are you kidding? Reese is like, what? Borton bleeding like a stuffed pig, but Reese says, takes a deep breath, right back on the attack. Borton! Borton! Using Borton's own maneuver against him. 1, 2, 3, and Reese Matthews is victorious. Reese Matthews utilizing the Borto end to knock off the Milkman, and a fantastic collision. What a match. What an absolutely thrilling matchup from start to finish, but Reese Matthews getting one over his former Click brother, utilizing Borton's own finishing move in the Porto end to do so. Look at Borton's face near the end of this match. Reese Matthews, once again his own man, and with a huge victory here, and perhaps inadvertently, sending a big boost towards the Resistance. Both Slate and Borton falling here tonight. And as we get ready for our co-main event, guys, we have a couple of tweets. The first of which came from Josh Wolf. I don't want either of these guys to win. I'd rather see the ring explode. Even though Reese Matthews not a part of Click anymore, Reese still had his hands and what Click did to Wolf earlier this season. Then a tweet from Adam Valentine, guy, says, of course the conspiracy continues. First, the fan pull, then Lance's underhanded pin, and now that count out. It's obvious that, no, the entire Genesis roster is scared of the Adam Valentine becoming the greatest CMV superstar in the history of this company. So Valentine, I'd say rightfully pissed off about what happened earlier tonight, and he was beating the Brit's ass, but Andrews ended up getting a count out. Tanat Mejia knocks the victory. But guys, we prepare for our co-main event and still to come in our main event as voted by you, the fans. Matsuda Tanaka seeks to remain unbeaten when he will take on the Alpha World Champion Gary Suckingham. But first, another unbeaten streak looks to continue when Luke Swanson takes on his biggest challenge to date, no doubt, and Sean Kent. And these two have a bit of a run-in last week as Luke Swanson was being interviewed fresh off of his return to CMV after that 2-month suspension. Sean Kent interrupted the interview and said, "You deserve to be suspended for longer. You're a drug addict. You're a waste. You shouldn't even be in CMV. You should have been fired." And of course, a lot of fan support actually been pouring out for but wait a minute! Ken! I think that's Ken! With a steel chair! Luke, watch out, Luke! Oh, to the back! Right to the back with the steel chair! Sean Kent attacking Luke Swanson before this match starts! Now throwing him down the ramp! Sean Kent said, "You're a disgrace, Luke." And look at that curb stop onto the LED ramp now. Holy shit. Sean Kent catching Swanson off guard, now beating the holy hell out of him. These two are set to go one-on-one, but this has got to be called off. We got to get security out here. Come on. Sean Kent just beating the bloody hell out of the unbeaten Luke Swanson. Oh, but look at that. Swanson finally catches his breath. Now Luke to his feet, but an action roll by Kent. Charges him. Gets a boot to the chest. This might have been a mistake by Sean Kent to try to ambush Luke, or maybe not. Stalls the suplex punch to the gut. Where's security, for crying out loud? Break these two apart. Get this out of here. They're just... Oh, Luke Swanson DDT on the outside. And Sean Kent is somehow the winner. I don't know what's going on, but we got to get security out here right now. Luke Swanson, there we go. Finally, some security guards pulling back Luke. Sean Kent to his feet now. They're just mouth. He's got a perfectly good main event, or co-main event, I should say. Main event still to come by a Swanson from behind. What the hell? I was looking forward to that too. These two being pulled apart and dragged off to the back. Jeez Louise. All right, guys, despite that unfortunate course of actions by Sean Kent taken towards Luke Swanson, we still have one final matchup here to cap off the show. It is main event time, and it is voted by you, the CMV Universe, for Matsuda Tanaka to face challenge in his CMV career yet, as he looks to remain unbeaten and taking on the Alpha World Champion, the Russian Ogre, Gary Suckingham. Both these guys with big matches coming their way next Sunday, the 25th of February, for the 3rd annual CyberSlam. Of course, Gary making his first defense of the Alpha World Championship against the man he defeated about a month and a half ago to win it, in Elijah Stewart. And of course, Tanaka, it was announced a couple weeks ago that he'll be going one-on-one with Bob Luger. And speaking of Luger, he took on Gary last week in what was an excellent matchup. It was really, really good. But Luger ended up taking Gary to the outside and keeping him there until the 10 count, so it was a draw. Luger then grabbing a mic and telling Guri that if he's going to beat him, it's going to be for the championship. Then Luger would continue to attack Guri, but Matsuda Tanaka would jump the railing and come to, well, not really come to Guri's aid, but instead would, oh, the crowd's dead, rip in peace. The crowd are just absolutely in shock after what happened in that co-main event. They can't stand it. They are pissed. They're livid. But it was Tanaka who jumped the barricade and got one up over Luger and nailing him with that nasty, nasty knee strike of his in the middle of the ring. And then, of course, Slayton Borton came out to try to help Luger, but it was far too late. Tanaka making off into the crowd. Hey, what up, Know Your Role, my friend? Don't believe I've ever seen you in here before, but nice to have you as we get set for this main event matchup. And the CM Universe certainly seem to be split. This is Tanaka's biggest opponent, literally and figuratively, and his CMV career, there's no doubt about that. A win over the current CMV Alpha World Champion would be monumental for Ultimate Matsuda Tanaka. But Guri Sukanov has been so impressive since capturing the championship, unbeaten in one-on-one matchups since he won the Alpha World title. But Tanaka, in his short time here in CMV, has defeated former world champions and some of the best to ever step foot in a CMV ring. Defeated Reese Matthews last week. Wins over Bob Luger and Xander Slate. They're just excited for 1 second, Saul. They don't have enough energy after all the great action tonight to just cheer continuously, you know, little spurts here and there. RJPW's own television champion has made Friday Night Genesis his home. I'd call Matsuda Tanaka perhaps not a member of the Resistance, but certainly an ally in the waging war between Click and the rest of the roster here on Friday Night Genesis. Guri Sukanov has not declared a side for himself, just focused on that championship that's wrapped around his waist and keeping it there come SummerSlam. I actually talked about it last week while Bob Luger and Guri Sukanov were fighting, that if I were Guri, I'd be thanking Luger and the Click, because they've been beating the shit out of Elijah over and over again, wearing him down physically and mentally, to the point where, what kind of condition is Elijah going to be in come that title match at SummerSlam? He's going to be walking in there completely depleted, and it's going to be like a walk in the park for Guri, at least from my perspective, in my opinion. That's what I'm seeing. That's what's in front of me. But here we go, the crowd just dead silent in anticipation as Matsuda Tanaka prepares. And here comes the Russian Bear, the 400-pound Goliath, the Ogre, and the CMV Alpha World Champion, Guri Sukanov, who in his year career here in CMV has only been defeated 6 times one-on-one. 6 times in a year. That is... I don't even know the word to describe that. That is incredible. 6 losses in a year here in CMV, and he's been up against the best of the best. Guri Sukanov is just a goddamn tank, and I said it as soon as he defeated Elijah, even when he just won the Battle Royal, I said, there is no way that anybody, it doesn't matter if it's Luger, doesn't matter if it's Elijah, I don't see anybody taking that championship from Guri Sukanov. I see him holding it until the end of CMV's days. But here we go, guys. This highly anticipated main event matchup. Matsuda Tanaka, Guri sucking up non-title one-on-one matchup. Can Tanaka get the biggest win of his career and remain unbeaten? Or will Guri hand him his first defeat? Goes for a DDT back body drop like it's ain't no thing but a chicken wang. Guri's having none of that, and I guess that's Tanaka's strategy here, is to try to rush Guri Sukanov, use his versatile striking to chop down the big man, and then work on him from the ground. But Guri's going to throw his weight, his strength around him. Obviously, the advantage he has here in this one as he steps over Tanaka's stomach. Just the 400 pounds being pushed down to the gut, down to the ribs. See Tanaka just absolutely writhing in pure pain there on the canvas as Guri dominates in the early beginning. Now grabbing Tanaka, hoisting him up into the air for a gut-wrench powerbomb. Tanaka looking like a child in the arms of Guri Sukanov. Now a big-time clothesline gonna floor him. I've never seen Tanaka manhandled like this. Down on one knee and a punch to the top of the head. Guri Sukanov, though, counters the clothesline. As soon as it was looking like Tanaka was gonna get the upper hand, Guri says, goes for a kick, but can't believe I'm saying this. Tanaka sucking off a bit quicker. Big boot as Tanaka rebounds off the ropes onto the apron. He rolls. Some instinct for Tanaka, no doubt. One of the biggest names competing in RJPW. Of course, the current RJPW television champion, a former junior heavyweight champion and tag team champion as well. And here in CMV looks to add a lot more accolades to his list, and this is a real launching point for the career. What a kick that actually took Guri off his feet, a kick to the gut. And at the count of 3, count of 4, we've already had 1 count out here tonight in Chris Andrews in that handicap matchup. Double knee backstabber, though. It would be a real shame for this matchup to end that way as well. Count of 7. But look at Tanaka, does not want it to see it end that way. If he's going to defeat Guri here, he wants to be by pinfall or submission. He wants to be definitive so nobody can say it was a fluke. Stomp down onto the lower back there. Now punch to the back of the head. The ref restarting his count now at 2. Charges the Russian Ogre, but just flung overhead. And I heard the splat of Tanaka's spine on that concrete. Those pads offer no protection. They might as well not be there. Count of 5. Tanaka yanked up to his feet. And this just pure battle between these two. Continuing now at a count of 6. 7, Guri stomps down onto the knee of Matsuda Tanaka. We are getting dangerously close to a count out at 8. Guys, count of 9. No, it's going to end me a double count out again. A Boston trapping applied, but 10. Are you kidding? No, we can't have that. Not for the second straight week. Look at Tanaka to his feet. He looks at Guri face to face. They stand. You don't want to end this way. Tanaka says, you want to get back in the ring? Guri says, you're damn well right I do. So they agree. This matchup's going to restart. Having none of that shit. Not 2 weeks in a row. They get back in the ring. Perry White restarts it. They agree. Here we go. This match was going to continue. None of this ish. This is an anticipated matchup. Not ending like that. And just right back at it they go, tearing into each other. I don't even think they were aware of referee Perry White's count there. They were beating the shit out of each other on the outside. It just escaped them. Goes for the kick to the side of the head, but instead the wheel gonna catch Guri right on the temple. Now Guri brought up to a vertical base, and face to face they stand. Don't want to see this ending by a draw, but what a spine buster by the Alpha World Champion. Just pure power onslaught, shot after shot. And of course Tanaka's gonna bring this fight back to the outside. No, Guri's not having it. Says not again. Let's not even tempt it. Scoop slam. Tanaka drops down behind, back suplex. The power of Tanaka to lift 400 pounds even that high up into the air is incredibly impressive. Now the RJPW television champion brings Guri up to his feet. Tries for a hook to the jaw instead, gets a forearm smash square to the face. Powerbomb now by Guri. We know his powerbombs are lethal, but a DDT. Nice reversal there. The Dragon Slayer certainly does not have a dragon to slay in front of him, but instead, wait a minute! Down the ramp, it's Bob Luger! Bob Luger! going after Tanaka. Tanaka goes after him. DDT to the work ethic Titan. Matsuda saying, get the hell out of here. But Matsuda distracted. Luger just hit Tanaka. Ring the bell. It's a disqualification. Matsuda Tanaka victorious by disqualification. Into the first round action. Victorious via disqualification over Guri. Certainly not the way that he wanted to win. But as the show is going off the air, guys, these three continue to beat the hell out of each other. I guess if you want to see what happens next, you're going to have to check out our website, CMV Wrestling, !join, and you can get a link there. What is going to happen next, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah, I know, right? Bob comes strolling down the ramp, tries to get in the ring, but as soon as like, I'm going to get you first. Beat the shit out of Luger. But as soon as Luger laid hands on Tanaka, the referee had no choice but to call it a disqualification. So, guys, if you want to see what happens next, you got to check out our website, !join, to find out what happened after the show went off the air. Because those three were still beating the hell out of each other when the end show logo popped up. But, I don't know if I want to do a winner match, to be honest. Because it will kill me, though. Yeah, Tanaka's still technically unbeaten, though, thanks to Luger. Luger and attacking Tanaka means that Guri was getting the assist. So Tanaka holds a victory over Guri Sukanov in the record books. But yeah. I'll do it for you, Grizzly, but I'm not doing a four-way. Especially a first to two fall four-way. I didn't tell Grizzly to put that poll on the card, okay? I had a different poll. He took it into his own hands. Oh, why did my screen just go purple there for a second? That was weird. All right. Oh, I just typed in winner. All right. Topher against Crizzy. Ooh, what a matchup. Yeah, hair in my mouth. Squirrels in my pants. Oh boy. Jefe versus Zach Cage. It's an interesting one. God, that transition screen, so loud. It's deafening. This is certainly an interesting matchup, though. Former two-time light heavyweight champion and El Jefe tag team and international champion. And Zach Cage. And both these guys coming off of recent losses. Cage, of course, just to Dallas Steel. And El Jefe alongside Joey Bacon took the L to cause an effect. Every time I go to Chaos in Order, I say cause and effect. Too close, Soul, you son of a bitch. Chaos in Order last week. This should definitely be a unique clash here. Topher, rate how much you're enjoying the Brody Halleck burial on a scale of 1 to 10. All right, here we go. Oh, I didn't even see El Jefe out to say, what the fuck? Chris Benoit's ghost taking over? Look at that, though. This matchup begins, and El Jefe immediately with a whirly bird head scissors. Gonna put Cage right on his ass within the first 10 seconds. Now face to face they stand. And fucking Selena Del Sol follow through. Echo, when are you going to catch these hands on UFC, kid? What am I making Sam Zebley? Oh, Dragon Screw! Sunzandaya. Oh, the dogs are excited for this matchup. They've been waiting for this first time encounter. This could main event Ascended 6. And we're getting it here on this live event special. Irish whip, El Jefe rebounds off the ropes. Zach Cage gonna catch it with an nasty knee strike. All right. El Jefe's head. Surprising to come clean off his shoulders. Go popping into the lap of one of these fans here. Oh, look at that going after the arm. Now we know Zach Cage loves his arm submissions. Arm bars. Various different ways to come at you. Cage is a deadly submission expert. You do not want to get a war of holds with him. Not even a 1 count there, I should say. Only a 0 count for El Jefe. Yeah, I got to make Rex Carter. Then I got to make Josh Wolf. Then I'll probably make... I'm probably not going to... Nah, I'm not going to stream today. Maybe tomorrow or Sunday, though. Misses the elbow, dropping El Jefe now, just staring at him. Say, hey, cutie, come here often. Wheel kick. Hook to the jaw now from behind. This looks like a, I don't even know what that was. Like a reverse DDT lifted up into like a Michinoku driver, kind of. Now El Jefe to the second turnbuckle sends a little kiss to Zach Cage before going for a swanton bomb. But Cage says, nah, I'm out of here. I'm out of 500. 38,000 seconds. Once again, smashing the arm of El Jefe off the canvas. Preparing for that armbar of his. El Jefe got to be weary of that. Try to use his quickness to deflect it. Get a kick to the gut right here. And Jefe going to take him for a cheeky little walk. Just a little stroll in the park. As now at the top rope, going to send him flying across the ring. The athleticism of El Jefe never ceases to impress. Grabs Cage by his beard now to a vertical base up over the shoulders. Fireman's carry. Going to take him for a little bit of a... jaunt to the corner. Dropping him face first in the top turnbuckle. Modified Snake Eyes. Now a kick to the chest. And El Jefe, a former two-time light heavyweight champion. Woo! Leg drop right to the back of the head. Up to the second turnbuckle. Jefe, we know he loves throwing caution to the wind. This backfired on him last time, but now he's rallying. The fans certainly behind him. Oh, goes for Hurricane Rana, but a powerbomb reversal by Zach Cage. Yo, mamma mia. And now shorting his stuff like it ain't no thing. Zach Cage drops the elbow on the chest. Cage is feeling it. Feel mighty fine about himself right now. Drags El Jefe towards the center of the ring, at least away from the ropes, as again a stomp to the elbow. Now to the apron, and Cage is the one who looks to fly with a slingshot senton. El Jefe says, that's my shtick. Kick to the chest, now bringing Cage up to his feet. Irish over to the corner, and Cage might about to get a taste of that. Might be about to get a taste of that. El Jefe, order up the fish dip. Zach Cage catching the whiff, and El Jefe is feeling like the end might be nigh. Hook to the jaw now, coming up from behind, and a back suplex by Cage, trying to recuperate. A little bit of a back suplex turned into a powerbomb, kind of. Now Cage gonna unleash these lethal strikes. Zach Cage is known for two things: his nasty, nasty kicks and knees, and his submission game. As El Jefe is rocked right now, and Cage gonna try to finish him off, but whatever he shot for is not going to be Jefe. He's gonna chop him in his throat. Clapping the temples. Zach Cage is getting booped and bopped all around the ring here. Nice clothesline though. Cage trying to make sure he can keep his head above the water. Another clothesline and a third clothesline. Into the corner, Cage gonna charge him. Goes for another clothesline. El Jefe's had enough of that though. Kill punch to the chest. Cage, getting a big old grab of the dick and balls with that modified suplex. Zach Cage once again doing a little bit of taunting. Letting all of his diehard fans know that he's okay. As now Jefe gonna get his lungs collapsed with that bicycle knee. Into the pin as well for Cage to get a win. 1, 2. But only a 2 count. Cage coming to this one off a string of losses. Even though it's on a live event, this would be a much welcome boost of momentum for Cage. Boot to the chest, and Cage once again looking up at the lights, but not for long. Jefe, Irish whip into the corner again. Zach Cage about to get a little bit more, baby. Second helping of the fish dip. That's not a knee to the face, Chrissy. It's a knee to the chest, kid. Hooks the leg. Does Jefe hoping that alone is enough to get him the win? And it does! I don't think I've ever seen Fish Stick actually finish a match. But Jefe knocking off Cage with a second go-around of some Fish Geek. I don't think Jefe's actually ever ended a match off of that. The dick is too strong for Cage to withstand. If it's watch this right here. Watch this right here. Ready? To the chest, and then El Jefe grabs his chest in pain as he collapses. That kind of looks like a knee to the chest. Yeah, that was a hard fish dick, but El Jefe with the victory. Zach Cage can continue to fall into this little losing streak. Hopefully he can dig himself out. Absolutely does not even almost grab his chin. Whoa. Whoa. All right, you know what? You know what, bitch? They're not going to have it, are they? Just him hitting Fish Stick. Why is that a highlight? Ooh. Oh, there it is. Ready? Well, I can't just get an angle of it in here. Look at that. That's so clearly the chest. That's not even almost near the chin. You can even tell from this angle. He grabs his chest like, oh, my chest. Oh, no. He's coughing. Blood coming out. 100% that connects to the chest. Sorry, sweetie. Nah, I know I'm right. I don't need to prove it any further. You know, I don't want to embarrass you more. Sorry. Sorry, honey. All right, guys, but thank you for joining me. As always, you like what you saw and you do want to see more, make sure that you drop a follow so you know when I go live. The next time, of course, will be on Monday for Fusion. Exclamation point Joe. I'll give you a link to our website, cmvwrestling.com. If you have a call and you want him featured on one of our shows, you are more than welcome. Exclamation point CMV will let you know a little bit more about us. If you just want to learn what we're all about, and our Twitter is official CMV_. If you want to follow us for signings and match cards and all that good stuff. So I will catch you guys hopefully on Monday or maybe sometime this weekend for a bit of UFC prep.